Okay, I think I got the view about right. I wanted to I wanted you to be able to see me as I'm talking, yet I don't want to be in the whole shot so you can enjoy the nature like I do. If that's your thing. Hopefully it is, cuz that's the topic of this video. Um I guess the reason that I do a lot of nature videos, sky watch videos, animal videos, insects, you name it. If you look at my old channel and this channel, you'll find a lot of nature related videos. I guess that has to do somewhat with the fact that I'm a Capricorn, so that's an earth sign. So I've always felt very connected to earth. I've always preferred to be out in nature versus being in a busy, noisy, concrete city. Part of that also has to do with growing up here in Florida. Um, Being outside in basically the tropical rainforest was my entire life as I knew it. And it wasn't until I traveled as an adult and went up north to places like Pennsylvania, New York, Washington, D.C., Illinois. I saw different things and the way buildings and cities are different, and even the layout of the grids in cities are totally different up north than they are here, because Florida is a peninsula, so it's north, south, west, and east. No matter which way you drive, you always know which direction you're going when you follow the sun. Not true in other states. It's like you're going around in circles and tunnels and all kinds of weird things. So we'll save that for another topic, though, because that's a topic all in and of itself. So I guess what I'm trying to do is bring to the virtual digital world of the internet, the World Wide Web, the remembrance of what is organic and what is natural and what is holistic and symbiotic to the harmonious circle of life. You know, what's good for the earth, what's good for the environment, what's good for the human body, what's good for animals. And this is how it is, how it was. But my fear is that it will not be. I wrote a poem some time back, and one of the lines in the poem says, "They're building away everything that's beautiful to me." And believe me, I know at my age and through my life experience that in this world I don't matter and I don't count. That has been made abundantly, vividly clear to me in every way, shape, form, and fashion. Most poignantly through my 4 years of homelessness, being turned away from every government, church, community organization in multiple counties, multiple states. At the time, cleaning my life up from trauma and abuse and self-medicating, substances. My life was a mess, but I was climbing myself out of that pit and making the strides necessary and couldn't get an FU from anybody. So I did it on my own by the grace and will of God. There's no other logical explanation why I'd even be alive today. There was a point I was so desperate and freezing in the snow in Pennsylvania I was under a gazebo and I only had a jacket. I did have gloves, but when you're outside in the elements and you can't go inside anywhere to warm yourself up, your body temperature is just steadily plummeting. And then the pain sets in, and it is at the core of your bones, like hypothermia and, when you're starting to freeze to death. So I did, one of those desperate times call for desperate measures, and I thought, well, I know it's not the best place in the world, but I'm either going to die out here or I only have one option, and that option is to call 911, tell them that I'm going to kill myself, so they'll put me in a psych ward, because that's a guaranteed 72 hours where I knew I could get a shower, a bed to sleep in, get out of the freezing cold and snow, and that they would just sedate me and I could sleep. That's all I was thinking. Get something to eat too. Because that night, there was a street team that delivered a bag of food. They go out to people on the street, which I think is a great thing, rather than you with no means to get to them, having to go to all these agencies to get help. That's so backwards, this whole system. I went through it, so I know what I'm talking about. So they gave me this bag of food, but mostly it was cans. And I have a couple of bags to my name. I don't roll with can openers and such, or microwaves strapped to my back or anything. You can't build fires anymore. It's illegal, So I did have one can with a pop top though, and it was chilly. And I thought, well, I'm just going to eat it freezing cold right out of the can, because I thought getting that sustenance into my body would at least, when I start to digest and metabolize it, maybe I'll warm my body up a little bit. And that was my line of thinking, under the pressure of like T-minus 10 minutes and counting till you freeze to death. Think fast. So I saw on the gazebo there was like cables hanging down from where the lighting went around it. So I thought, okay, I'm going to call them and tell them I'm wrapping one of these cables around my neck and that I'm planning on killing myself. So I do that. And within 10 minutes or so, a cop shows up and takes me to the psych ward, and I verbally told him exactly what I did and why I did it, and he was very understanding and one of the nicer cops that I've ever met. Which I did go to the psych ward, but lo and behold, I'll call that Sacred Clown Hospital in Allentown, Pennsylvania. I ended up being there for over 3 weeks. Once you're in, you can't get out. You don't have a say-so anymore. Your rights are gone. So, 3 weeks. That was a nightmare experience. Also, an entire video's worth. So, I've been through some things. But what I've seen everywhere, and especially what's happening now, I don't want this video to get striked, so I'm going to mind my words very carefully here. But there's some very explosive things happening to various parts of the world that are under attack with things like that you build with some logs if you're having a camp, something. There was certain places where this happened. And now the bottom one is happening today. And all of this is in preparation for But that word you may hear exchanged for this word. If you hear this word, remember you heard here, same difference. Okay? So this is being done purposefully, taking away all of this to build, 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 build. Bob the Builder, can we fix it? Well, how about we fix things before we start building new resorts and luxury this and luxury that and country club only, VIP only, flag only, hoard, 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 me, I, all of us, but none of them. No, that's not the way the OG, the master builder of all creation, wanted things for his children. No, wrong, sorry, not sorry. Earth is a playground. This is for exploration, play, discovery, learning, growing, evolving, progressing, nurturing, caring for, living harmoniously with, symbiotically with. Like if it were me and my business and I was a business owner planning to cut trees down to build a building, which I would never do in the first place. I would incorporate them into my structure organically using things that are organic like hempcrete. But if some altered Jennifer out there in clown world was going to cut down trees, an anti-gen. If an anti-gen was out there who was going to cut down trees to plant building, then for every one tree that I cut down, I would plant 3 in its place. Things like that. And I watched a travel vlog video last night where they were highlighting Miami, which is here in South Florida. Everywhere there used to be orange groves, mangrove fields, strawberry fields, peanut farmlands. It's all gone. It's all buildings. And I can see exactly what's happening. So they can roll out their fake food agenda. All lab created, nothing living organically that has grown and absorbed all the energy from growing organically in the earth. It's going to be genetically modified molecules to take the shape of what used to be organic and look and taste exactly the same, minus the seeds, because you won't really find them around anymore in your fruits and veggies. Well, I'm not a fan of anything subpar. I'm not a fan of anything half-assed. I'm not a fan of anything that's okay or all right. I want for myself, for animals, for the environment, for you, for children who haven't even had a chance yet, for trees and plants, for this little guy who's coming to listen to the talk right now. I want health organically and well-being that is the best and nothing less than that. When did we stop wanting what is best for our bodies, our minds, our spirits? When did we stop wanting the best? And when did we start settling for what we've got? Hold on. The trash truck needs to drive through right now. City of Clearwater. All this trash, all this plastic wrapped, aluminum encased garbage. Because that's exactly what it is. Garbage. Everything affects everything else. Stop growing your own, stop cooking your own, and then you start purchasing from distributors, whether it's at a 5-star place, in a grocery aisle, or at a fast food joint. That's packaging, that's storage, that's transportation, that's delivering, that's all pollutants, all of it. Industry and corporations. Well, if they keep running the show, they're going to digitize and build away everyone and everything. That is the MO. That's the agenda. Digitize this and then digitize you. And, I mean, they have everything in place now to roll it all out. You've got billions and billions of dollars being invested into AI development. All this fraudulent funding to other places instead of right here at home. And all that funding does is fund one of two things, and only one of two things. And where does the funding come from? Well, I feel great clocking in every day knowing that a portion of my income is going towards these disgusting abominations. Don't you? I used to feel even better every day clocking in and out of Burger King, knowing that every bag I handed was dumping pollution into this planet and then giving that person some unhealthy side effect, obesity, arteries being clogged, high cholesterol, whatever. I had a part in that since I was the delivering middleman, so I am guilty of that. I make products. I love my job now and I love my coworkers, but I make products every single day that pollute this planet. The one thing I love most. Why do I do it? Am I insane? Am I a crazy person? Am I a glutton for punishment? No, no, and no. I kind of like being alive, and I tried for years to get off of this system and escape it and find a way to do that on my own, and I was unsuccessful doing that. So I had to tuck my tail between my legs and return to Egypt. Because, you know, I guess I'm selfish that way. I think about it all the time. I think about packing up Luna, getting in my car, go off into the woods somewhere, bring my seeds, plant what I've got. I am pretty resourceful. I mean, I did survive on the streets and all, with nothing and no one. I'm pretty sure I have some pretty major protection because I'm a very logical person, and there's no logical reason why I should even be alive right here talking to you today. And one thing I'll share from, 2011. So 14 years ago, that right there is the scar where I had 15 stitches from an attempted suicide. There was a point for a long time in my life I wanted to die. And unfortunately, when I wanted to start living and actually finding my life and my purpose, the world made that completely impossible for me to do. So here I am now, trying to find some kind of balance. Can I stay in this system and be that fake person every day because it's the only way I can afford to live right now? Or do I leave it all and not be a hypocrite anymore and embrace my true purpose, which is, what's the one thing I stand against? This corrupt establishment, which has invaded and taken over this world. So why am I working for it? That's my battle every day. So it's a conundrum. I really was hoping there was a way I could, have a place in this world, work, have my own little life, me and my cat, my own little place, but it's impossible. I make currently $2 more an hour than what minimum wage is legally at right now. And my job even offers overtime from time to time. And even with that, I cannot afford any of the rent or to purchase a home or even a room, an efficiency. I can't even afford an extended stay motel room. This is how expensive, they're not making things too expensive so you can't afford. No, they're making it unaffordable so you don't have a choice but to be dependent. So, I don't have a partner. I don't have, family that can help me with money. It's me, myself, and I pay all my own bills. And I have nothing left over every pay, not a cent. And I am not out spending my money without discretion or anything like that. It's all necessities, gas, insurance, food, my cat, things that I need. Tools for work, shoes for work, this, that, and the other, laundry soap, everything. And so why am I doing it? If it used to be the American dream, the father of a 5-person family, a father, a mother, and 3 kids, just the father could go to work and provide a home, 2 cars, one for him, one for his wife. His family could go on vacation once or twice a year. They could send their kids to college with that little nest egg that they were able to save up over the years. That's gone. Now, I am the living proof reality. I work a full-time job and I cannot even afford an efficiency, 1 room, okay? That's the reality. So why is that? Why am I driving up and down to work every single day and I don't even want to, because I know where that's going to go. Let's just say it's a real slap in the face when you are someone who is a natural born citizen of the country that you live in. And not only that, but your own father and many other of your family's ancestors have fought in wars for this country to protect freedoms and rights of people like their daughter or you and your kids out there. My dad did that. Yet, there's people who clearly are from other countries, and let me just preface this before I even say anything, because I already know. I, Jennifer Berrigan, am in no way, shape, form, or fashion racist. Let me tell you this. There's not a racist bone in my body. I can remember from my childhood the elderly people that are real Southern folk down here still using the N-word, which I think is disgusting. But to them, it was just like saying pen. So I'm not one of those people. My son, my firstborn son, is part Mexican and part Mohican. My ex-husband is Mohican and Mexican, so I'm not racist, but it does anger me when I am one of those people that I mentioned a moment ago. Not that I deserve any great things or have this feeling of entitlement either. I don't. I'm just saying you take care of your own before you start doling out to everybody else. That's just common sense. And I know for a fact, because I lived it for the 4 years of suffering in the streets of the cities of this country, of which I am a natural born citizen, being shut a door in my face every time I turned around. Like, can I get a meal? Can I get a bed for one night? Can I get out of the snow for 15 minutes? Like, they feel my pain. And they're all like, nope, we don't, I'm sorry, no funding. I'm sorry, you don't have this, or I'm sorry, you don't qualify, blah, 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 blah. I was like, okay. Yet, when I go to work just on my 10-minute route to and from work every day, I'm pulling up next to cars that are in foreign languages. The music's blaring in a foreign language. I'm seeing people cutting their shrubs in front of their homes that are clearly and speaking a different language. And I'm thinking to myself, how is this possible? Yet, and when things are just unfair, and that's what I'm really speaking about, the unfairness of it all, which I'm sure this happened during the last 4-year regime that we just went through, when those gates were wide open for Tom, Dick, and Harry and whoever to come in. And here you go, you need some medical care? Here you go, you need some food stamps? Here you go, you need a debit card for any expenses? Here you go, you need a hotel room? Here you go, you need a home loan? I mean, grant. You don't have to repay it. It's a grant. It's a gift from the U.S. to you. It's kind of a slap in the face. A little bit. That's all I'm saying, is for people who work hard, who are good people, who deserve a helping hand, not a handout. I mean, every day I see it. Every day. And yet I'm watching a travel vlog last night from Japan, and I hear the vlogger get out of the elevator, and of course it says the Japanese version first, And then in English, after the Japanese, it says, elevator door opening. Like, why is that not the same here? But instead, you don't get any kind of first choice for being a citizen here. It's the scraps. It's literally the scraps. The leftovers. I'm sick of the leftovers. I really am. All these billions of dollars of tax fraud gone. I don't know about you, but I want my money back. It was another unfair slap in the face this year when I did my taxes, paying over $1,000 in federal alone to get $180 back. Huh? Give me my money back. I was the one on my feet for those hours. I was working during that time. I earned that income. Taxation is theft. Change my mind about that. You won't. People forget what the whole Boston Tea Party was about. So they're like, whoa, what should we do with all the money that we're saving? Return it to everyone that it was stolen from. How about we start there? I want anybody out there, please, somebody, because I have yet to find somebody, so maybe you're that one. Please name one other country in this world that taxes their own citizens and then sends that money to other countries. Just one. Oh, even the birds got quiet because there ain't one. So, yeah, that's my little rant for today, I guess. God's really put it on my heart to start talking again. And I know what's coming with that because I went through it last time when they hacked my channel and all my other accounts and tried to cancel me the first time. Too much truth. Gotta shut her up. Keep her out in the streets too. And then just shoot her with Morgellons disease on top of that. Make her really suffer so she'll give up. They never met a goat.